Are you an online ESL teacher and are you looking to turn your classes from, these quiet observation sessions into these buzzing hubs of real interaction? Well, if that sounds like you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down some super simple, creative activities to get your students not just engaged, but talking.
Oh, we have all been there, right? You ask this brilliant, thought provoking question, and what you get back is just silence. Crickets. You can see those little cursors blinking away, but the chat box is totally empty. It is one of the biggest and honestly most frustrating challenges of online teaching. But the good news is we have the tools to fix it. Okay, so let's just dive in and tackle this engagement challenge head on. Our mission, really, is to figure out how to shift our students from being passive listeners, just kind of sitting there, into active, confident participants in their own learning journey. Let's really look at the difference here. On one hand, you have passive learning, just listening to a lecture or reading some text. And look, that has its place. But for language learning, it is just not enough. The real progress, the magic, happens when students are actively engaged. I'm talking about when they're creating their own sentences, debating ideas, or even just playing a language game. They're not just remembering the language, they're actually using it. And that, right there, that's our goal.
So, where do we even begin? Well, right at the beginning. Seriously. The first 5 minutes of your class can set the entire tone for the whole lesson. So let's look at how to kick things off with a little spark of energy that makes everybody want to join in. Let's start with an absolute classic, virtual show and tell. I know this is not just for kids, I promise. It is an incredibly effective, super low prep way to get every single student speaking within the first few minutes of class. It's personal, it's tangible, and it just immediately lowers that barrier to speaking. And check out how simple this is to run. You just give a topic, something easy like find something red or show us your favorite mug. They run and grab it. Then, and this part is crucial, you give them a simple sentence structure to use. This gives them the scaffolding and the confidence to actually speak. And that last step, classmates asking questions, that's where the magic really happens. It encourages them to listen to each other and starts that natural peer-to-peer conversation. Okay, so the warm-up's done, everyone's feeling good, the energy is up. Now, how do we carry that momentum into the core of the lesson? How do we practice vocabulary and grammar without resorting to boring old drills? Well, we turn the practice into a game. Here is a fantastic one, the sentence scramble race. All you do is take your target grammar point or vocab, build a sentence with it, scramble up the words, drop it in the chat, and then just say, go. It creates this fun, competitive urgency that makes students think really fast about word order and syntax. It's basically a grammar drill disguised as a fun, high-speed challenge. And this is exactly why these kinds of games work so well. Einstein really hit the nail on the head here. Play isn't some distraction from learning. It is one of the most powerful ways to do it. Just think about it. When your students are playing, they're experimenting, they're testing ideas, and they're learning from their mistakes in a really low-stakes, fun environment. It's learning in its most natural state. Now, this brings us to what is pretty much the ultimate goal for any language teacher, right? How do we get our students talking more than we do? The real aim is to become more of a facilitator, not a lecturer. It's all about creating an environment where students feel comfortable and actually motivated to speak up. And just look at this. The difference is staggering. In a typical class, where it's just the teacher asking a question and one student answering, the total time each student gets to speak can be incredibly low, maybe just a few minutes. But when you switch to an activity-based model, boom, the amount of practice time each student gets can easily jump fivefold or even more. It is an absolute game changer for fluency. So, this brings us to this really crucial concept, student talking time, or STT. This should be your new favorite acronym. This is your key metric for success. In every class you plan, your goal should be to design activities that push this number higher and higher. A simple way to think about it is just to ask yourself, who's doing most of the talking right now? If the answer is you, it's probably time to introduce an activity. More STT means more practice, which means faster progress, and you guessed it, way more confidence. All right, let's pull all of this together into a really actionable toolkit that you can look at right before you log into your next class. Think of this as your new cheat sheet for instant engagement. And here it is. Simple, right? For your warm-up, you've got virtual show and tell, super low prep, gets everyone talking. For practice, the sentence scramble. It's fast,
fun, and really effective. And for just pure conversation practice, a classic like Two Truths and a Lie requires literally zero preparation, and it sparks these amazing natural discussions. See the common thread? They are all incredibly low prep, but they deliver really high impact results. So, as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with this one little challenge. Don't just think about these ideas, actually put one into action. Whether it's a 5-minute show and tell to kick things off or a quick sentence race in the middle, making just one small change can have a huge impact on your students' engagement and honestly, their love for learning English.